Hello everybody, this is the CenturyLink Scouting Report on SoundersFC.com. I'm Arlo White. Saturday's visitors to CenturyLink Field are the Colorado Rapids. Now, if Seattle can win the game, they will stretch their unbeaten run, already a club record, to 9 games. They will close the gap on Los Angeles on the top of the Western Conference to just a single point. Colorado are the champions of Major League Soccer, and in Connor Casey, they have a striker who is bang in form. Now, there's no doubt that Casey is one of the premier strikers in Major League Soccer. He's scored 50 goals in 106 matches, including the playoffs, which is a fantastic record. He's had injury problems this season with a hamstring situation. He seems to have recovered fully and has scored 6 goals in the last 7 games, so he is a striker in form. He has strength, he has power, but he also has great movement and the ability to finish. Let's take a look at the game last week against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Jamie Smith on the ball, look at the movement to the near post by Casey. It's a fantastic delivery in, and Casey one touch and volleys it in. Michael Boxall could do nothing about it. Super goal. Familiar face here, Tyrone Marshall, former Seattle Sounder. This is a demonstration as we play it on as just how Casey can finish from very, very difficult situations. Long free kick forward by Tyrone Marshall. Look at the chest control, and again it's a first time finish. He knows exactly where he wants to put that ball. Connor Casey, 2 terrific goals, but Casey, as we know, is also exceptional in the air. Let's take a look here. Free kick, advanced position for the Colorado Rapids. Jamie Smith with it. We're just going to pause it there. Look how Connor Casey has got across the defence here, away from the big centre-backs. In the end, when he heads this ball, it's eventually saved by Joe Cannon, but he's managed to isolate Michael Nanchov, a wide midfielder for the Vancouver Whitecaps, who's not strong, who's not particularly great in the air, and it's a mismatch. We'll play it on. Look at the header, powered in from about 15 yards. Cannon with the save, and Pagluta puts the rebound in. That was all down to the power and the talent of Connor Casey. Let's take a look at the next header. This is against Columbus. We'll highlight Casey again. It's a poor corner by Jamie Smith, but Casey, we'll pause it there. Look at what he's done here, his reaction. He knows the ball's going back out to Jamie Smith, and he trusts that Jamie Smith will put a decent ball in. So he peels around here, Connor Casey, and takes up a very dangerous position on the near post. Let's play it on then. Smith gets the ball, right-footed, delivers a lovely ball in. Casey there in space, whips the header around inside the post for another very, very good goal. Now, there is another side to Connor Casey. He is a fierce competitor, mainly within the rules. He's only been red-carded twice in his career, but once was in this Columbus game. We'll take a look. The ball comes over from none other than Brian Mullen. Chipped it over the top. It's wonderful play by Casey. Just a bit of a heavy first touch, and then he knows he's not going to get there. And still he slams into Will Hesmer. And we're very lucky here. Connor Casey's very lucky, and Will Hesmer's very lucky that the damage done to the goalkeeper wasn't more serious. And it's a red card, direct red card, as you can see, for Connor Casey. We'll take a look at the replay here. Look at this. So he takes the chest down. It just goes beyond him a little bit. His second favourite there slams into the goalkeeper, and he knows he's done something wrong here. And it's Hesmer clutching his face. It could have been a nasty injury, and he's still suffering neck problems now, but thankfully he's okay. Connor Casey served a one-match ban. So we know of the threat of Connor Casey. Cast your minds back to last July, a 2-1 victory for the Seattle Sounders at home against the Colorado Rapids. Casey went off at the end of the game holding a towel to his bloodied head. Patrick Iani and Jeff Park, who are likely to start on Saturday, were absolutely fantastic and matched him in the physical battle. They'll have to do that again. What about the Colorado Rapids? Well, they're a good passing side. You have to press them in the midfield to disrupt their pattern. Well, Colorado are the champions of Major League Soccer, and they're a good passing side. Lorenowitz and Mastroeni in the centre of midfield, very good indeed. Jamie Smith, as well, as we've seen, providing good balls in for Connor Casey. But they can play the ball out of the back, and if you sit off them, they will hurt you. This is the Vancouver game last week. Drew Moore here, a defender, gets it back from Lorenowitz. Moore again, taps it forward. Here's Cummings, thinks he's left it short. He hasn't. Casey, wonderful vision. Away goes Cummings. No Vancouver Whitecap has put a challenge in here, and Cummings just blasts the ball narrowly wide of goal. It wasn't far away. Now, in a recent road game against Columbus, Colorado fell to pieces completely. Now, it was a mixture of a couple of things. Poor concentration by Colorado, but also a bit of pressing by the Columbus crew on home territory. Let's take a look then. So they're 1 goal up here. Terrible ball by Pagluta. Away goes Eddie Gavin. Good player, Eddie Gavin. And he fires it past Drew Moore and past Matt Pickens for the goal. it didn't end there. Columbus are working very hard. Here we see Kimura, the right back. That's an awful pass. He was closed down very quickly. The pass has evaded Mastroeni. Here's Mendoza. A lot of work to do, but that's a fantastic finish into the top corner of the net. They're capitulating here, Colorado. Edge of the area. They win the ball back. Here's Jamie Smith. We've sung his praises. That was awful from Smith. Here's Gavin. Another opportunity. In the end, it's Pickens with a very good save, and it's Mendoza who puts the rebound wide. Brian Mullen getting a challenge in here. This is almost the worst of the lot. Free kick, attacking position. Headed clear very well by Marshall. What's Kimura doing? He's completely misjudged it. He's the last man in his own half. Away goes Mendoza, and he scores. That made it 3-1 on the night. The game ended 4-1 overall. So the more that Seattle can press the ball and press the Colorado midfield, the more they're likely to force mistakes and they're likely to get possession of the ball back. So a big day for Ozzie Alonso, who's just a master at this sort of thing. But it's not just rushing Colorado into mistakes. If you put some pressure on them, there's a likelihood that their defence and their midfield, most importantly, will drop very deep. So here's a couple of examples for you of how the Colorado midfield can often drop a little bit deep. Let's take a look here against Los Angeles, a 3-1 defeat at home a few weeks ago. So we'll highlight number 25 here, Pablo Mastroeni, World Cup veteran for the United States. He's almost part of a defensive 5 here as LA come forward with the ball. We'll just play it on a little bit and see how this situation develops for the LA Galaxy. They're building down the right-hand side with Franklin. We'll stop the action there. Look what's happened here. They're playing effectively a 4-1-3-2 here, Colorado, with Mastroeni as the holding midfielder who's just dropped away a little bit from his defence. You've got 3 midfielders here, and Angel, the striker for the LA Galaxy, has just realised there's a bit of space here between Mastroeni in the defence and the rest of the midfield, and he wants to take advantage of it. So let's play it on. In the end, the ball doesn't go to Angel. It's a lovely piece of play here, releasing Chris Birchall. And as we go into the penalty area, Barrett is the striker here, honing in on the edge of the 6-yard box. 1, 2, 3, 4 Colorado defenders chasing desperately, trying to get to Birchall. One of them here will highlight him is Drew Moore, and we'll play it on. Birchall to the near post, and Moore slides the ball into his own nets. It was largely caused by the amount of space allowed to the LA Galaxy in front of the Colorado back 4. Let's take a look later in the game for another example of giving midfielders, the LA midfielders, too much space. It's 1-0 to LA. The ball pops out to the, well, I wouldn't say the edge of the area, way out, and we'll pause it just there. It's Juninho, the Brazilian. He's hurt Seattle twice for Los Angeles on opening day and on July the 4th of 2010 with long-range efforts. Look at all the acreage he's got here to advance into. 2 midfielders here you'd think would be coming out, pressing the ball, making him perhaps even pass sideways, but they don't, and we'll play it on. Here's Juninho. He's going to wind up. He's going to wind up and have a shot. Look at these defensive players, these Colorado Rapids players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 defensive players here, all behind the ball, but no one's really closing Juninho down with any conviction, and we'll play it on, and Juninho comes up with one of the best goals of the season so far, and there have been a few in Major League Soccer. So a few pointers there. Connor Casey, absolutely terrific. Omar Cummings will be very dangerous. Caleb Foden, we'll see if he starts. He's got EPL experience as well. But there are times with the Seattle pressing game that they can make mistakes or force mistakes from the Colorado Rapids and maybe territorially force them back a little bit. So, kick-off at CenturyLink Field on Saturday afternoon is 1 p.m. as the champions come to town. It's another nationally televised game, so Fox Soccer is the place if you want to watch on TV. I'll have the call on News Talk 97.3 Cairo FM, the pre-game with Matt Johnson and the team on air at 12:30. That was your CenturyLink Scouting Report for SoundersFC.com. I'm Arlo White.